Okay, we have a, what is this, losers bracket round 2 match, I believe, or round 3 even. Yeah, it's a round 3 match. Yeah, it's a round 3 match. Sorry, I had to get the bracket up and make sure that I knew what I was talking about, but it's between the guys on Instant Reflex and Legion side, as well as Adrians' Familj on the Hellborn side, and joining me on this cast, I have 2 members of a team that played in this bracket, in this cycle. Cluckmuck from Shrek is Love and his carry player Count Crapula. So, hello to both of you, and thanks for joining me.
Hi, Quincy. Glad to be here.
Hello, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, hopefully. Should be a good series. 2 pretty evenly matched teams, and 2 that no doubt are looking to try to get into Diamond Division for Cycle 3. But this is a replay cast, so you may or may not know what happened. I'm not going to go ahead and spoil it, because then what would be the point of watching this? At the same time, let's move on a little bit, because, man, they're getting to this picking stage really fast. Ophelia and Parasite are going to be the first 2 bans for Panny, and Revenant and Cthulhuphant will be banned out by ALG. So Legion side taking out a couple of strong junglers, and the Hellborn taking 2 heroes that have some versatility there. Revenant, of course, has been played in multiple roles, and Cthulhuphant both as a jungler and a suicide. So let's go to Cluckmuck first, because you are the drafter. What are you seeing so far?
Well, I think it's weird that they picked Silhouette versus Swiftblade. I feel like that's kinda counterproductive.
Yeah.
And I don't like the blind bans either, except Revenant and Cthulhuphant. I don't think it's worth banning both the angles and then not even picking a jungler. I don't know. Because you usually want to get either Parasite. If you really want jungler, you usually want Parasite, Ophelia, Cthulhu, or Tempest. And there's only one left. So you probably should have first picked with him, I thought. But I don't see the point of banning those heroes if he doesn't first pick Tempest.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. I mean, it seems like it would really back them into the corner on the Hellborn side, either force them to run a dual support strat or do something crazy with the jungle like Legionnaire or Solstice if you ban those heroes out and then first pick the Tempest. And at the very least, you know, even if they were planning to run a dual support strat, it limits their options, it makes them a little more predictable, and that's no doubt very helpful, I'm sure, when you're drafting here, but we'll see where the Hellborn goes with it. They do finish up their draft with Magmus, so they've got Silhouette and Torture on top of that Magmus. Legion side goes with Swiftblade, Bubbles, and Rhapsody. So you expecting Swiftblade to be a carry here, I would assume, considering Bubbles is in there and likely going to be either a suicide or mid player.
Yeah.
I think. Either of you. Yeah.
I think they could go either way right now. Like, I don't think it's uncommon. I prefer to send Bubbles mid and just have Swiftblade suicide or maybe an aggressive tri lane. So I think it's still up in the air. They could still run another carry there, short lane, if they want to. So far, I think I favor Legion's draft slightly.
Yeah, me as well. No, not a lot, okay. I think.
Yeah. It depends on how they lane it, I suppose. But yeah, I prefer Legion's draft. I think they have much stronger lanes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime a player picks a Rhapsody, I'm usually on board with whatever they're doing. That hero is just so damn powerful.
Yeah, third pick Rhapsody is a bit weird, but okay.
And we saw this in
different preferences.
We saw this in some other Gold Division matches, which I don't know if you guys noticed. Hey, you played in some of them, so maybe you did. But Rhapsody wasn't really that high priority in a lot of these games, sometimes making it even through the second banning stage, sometimes completely unpicked or banned, which is something that I didn't really agree with or understand. You guys have any idea why they would be letting a hero like that go all the way through the picking stage?
I think Rhapsody is extremely powerful. So, no, not really. No. Maybe you have some more input, Cluck?
But I guess they nerfed Rhapsody a little bit, and then they buffed Glacius, and then Empath has also been picked so much, so some people still feel like they're really even, those 3 supports right now. So I guess that's why.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, I think Rhapsody is always top 3 support.
Yeah, I mean,
how you look
like
at it,
for a while there was like #1 support, no doubt. But I feel like Glacius and Empath also are up there right now.
Yeah, I can get bored with that.
And there's no doubt some lineups where maybe Glacius fits a little bit better, especially against something like a Parasite, but hey, Parasite's banned out here, so...
oh yeah, that's what makes Glacius even better, because he counters Parasite so hard right now.
Right. But Legion side, gonna pick up the Empath for the 4th pick, so yeah, that aggressive tri-lane might actually be the choice here. with Rhapsody and Empath and Swiftblade, sending Bubbles mid and then possibly another short laner here to come. Although they could do, like you said before, CC, a whole bunch of other stuff. There's all sorts of options for the Legion side with this draft right now. They did ban out Wretched Hag, Kraken, and Chipper, so taking out a whole bunch of really bursty heroes and long-range initiation heroes. Kraken and Chipper both portal keys, and Wretched Hag, of course, with the blink. Riptide, Pharaoh, and Shadowblade all taken out by the Hellborn side. Shadowblade, an interesting ban there. Cluckmuck, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I guess because it's Marcus Moy and he plays Shadowblade, and I guess they're afraid of it.
Yeah, so targeted there a little bit.
Yeah.
Count Crabblade, have you played Shadowblade? I don't think so.
Honestly, not much at all. It's something I'm looking towards, actually learning how to play in the future. I think there has some potential.
Yeah.
I think it could be competitively viable right now. It's incredibly tanky in early fights. I think can transition into a high damage output carry in the later stages.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of other times in the Gold Division. One time, I don't remember who played it, but it got up to like 5,500 health or something like that, I think, with a Behemoth's Heart, and it gets ludicrous at some point, and it basically got to the point where, you know, you just sit on the tower, on the tier 3 tower, and take all the damage because you don't care anymore. Auto attack the tower down, and there's pretty much nothing the opponent can do about that. So a powerful hero if it gets to that stage, but at the same time I feel like it's not that strong in lane. It gets shut down relatively easily if you focus it early on and doesn't recover all that well. So I can take it or leave it at this point. It's sort of like, hey, Berserker, Breaky's favorite hero, in that way.
Yeah, I think that game was against us actually.
Yeah, it was.
It very well could have been.
It was the fun experience.
That was insane. He pushed. Oh.
Yeah. I think that was the winners bracket semifinals or something like that then, right? Versus The Last of Us.
Was it Fusion? Yeah, it was Fusion.
Oh, it's versus Fusion. I don't know, maybe. I have a memory of Goldfish, I don't know. Anyway, but Legion side going to finish off with Puppet Master, so they do go the short laner there. I would assume we're going to see an aggressive tri lane there.
Yeah, most likely.
I really like their drafts. Oh.
Yeah.
Me too. I think it's really solid. They have incredibly strong lanes and still transition well into the mid and later stages.
Yeah.
I feel like Hellborns is a bit more unreliable. I think they might struggle in the laning phase. Like mid and late game, I think they could fare okay, but I think they have the weaker draft right now. Yeah. But it depends a bit on how they lane it, I suppose.
I mean, if Behemoth gets good blocks in a tri lane, maybe. But I don't know. I kind of feel like even if they do a tri lane versus tri lane and Behemoth gets a good block off, they could just turn it to traps or the heal and spin. Right. I don't really see how they kill them.
I think they have to dodge, like...
Yeah.
Could they tri lane with the Devourer, maybe?
Oh yeah, that will work, I guess.
That would be a bit weird though, standing still mid against Bubbles.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Hellborn is at itself.
And so
I think they can have to dodge the tri lane, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty unlikely we won't see a tri lane here from Hellborn just because of that last pick Behemoth. They have to realize that the Legion side is probably going tri lane, and Behemoth, a support we almost never see outside of the tri lane, so I would be kind of shocked if they didn't do that. And I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I expect them to try to contest this tri lane just because they've got so many stuns. I mean, the Legion side, they've got only really one in the tri lane. There's no stun on Swiftblade, and there's no reliable stun on Empath. The Essence Link is there, but it sort of requires you to do other things to get that stun off, whereas with the Hellborn side, you can pick up Magmus, Torture, or Behemoth. You could even put Silhouette in the tri lane and get something of a decent stun. And triple stun tri lanes, in my opinion, are pretty damn powerful. But yeah, it does look
I mean, like...
Sorry, go.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're still tri-laning, just in another lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a decent choice by Hellborn right now. We'll see what they end up with.
Lane? I guess that's better. I thought they would 2-1.
Yeah, I think this is what they'll end up doing, like Behemoth Silhouette long lane maybe, and Devour Torture mid.
Yeah.
Seems very
odd.
I can't remember the last time we've seen a melee support in a dual lane. That's basically not done anymore.
But you can do it short lane if you have like a ranged carry and a really weak, your versus a really weak suicide, then you can have a melee support. I mean, it works, but
I don't like it. I just think
it's the same. I don't think it's not worth it. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with you on that. I mean, you can't harass. It's really hard to stay in the lane, and you in turn can get harassed out if you're not really careful on that melee support. And Behemoth silhouette, like, I guess there's some synergy there because the True Grapple allows her to go over the Fissure, but they don't seem like inherently synergistic heroes to me. Am I completely off on that?
No, I don't think they lane together that well. I mean, like, Behemoth can help out Silhouette if she gets into a tough spot as a defensive support, but I think the aggressive potential of this tri lane is fairly limited.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are against a Puppet with no escape, so it should actually work out quite well for Hellborn.
I think
it was
they'll win the lane. I think Puppet Torture beats Seal Behemoth.
Torture is on the Hellborn team.
It is what? They're
Yeah, but I mean, I think this was excellent choice by Hellborn to dodge the lanes.
Yeah, and they're actually
I
going to
think
force
that'll give them
rotation,
a
it
good
looks like
chance.
here, as both
Yeah.
Rhapsody and Empath are going to come bottom and help out Puppet Master. And I'm with you on that one. I think, personally, in general, I like the aggressive tri-lane a little bit more than the safe lane tri-lane. I feel like it goes better, mostly because it opens up a short lane for another hero that gets a little bit safer farm in that type of situation. But forcing the Legion to rotate, too, also matters pretty significantly because now Empath and Rhapsody are going to be a little behind on levels, and these are two heroes that do like their levels quite a lot. So who do you see winning this tri-lane there, Pugma?
I think Legion are heavily favored still, despite rotating over. I mean, it was a nice plan, but Legion responded fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And I think they definitely had the advantage. It helps, like, Hellborn has lost lane control already, which will help the Legion out as well. Hellborn a lot, but I still give the edge to Legion here. I think like Legion has the advantage overall in the laning stage. I think Magnus can beat Swiftblade top, but I would favor Bubble slightly against Devour mid as well.
Yeah, but I mean, just Empath is just so strong in tri-lanes. Like, if he falls Torture there by the trees, like right now, if he goes in there, he's dead, I'm pretty sure, so... I don't know, he can just set up so many kills so easily in tri-lane.
And of course, Behemoth, one of those heroes that is very powerful in tri-lanes. We almost never see him run outside of a tri-lane, but at the same time, he's one of the few supports that can actually do a lot to hurt you if you don't get that fissure off completely correctly. So, whereas Empath with the wall, much easier to place appropriately. So, we'll see what the Hellborn side can do here, but they get Torture getting caught already by the wall, and Staccatos, Essence Link there as well. Couple auto attacks will finish her off, and that's what I'm talking about right there. The fissure actually trapping Torture in, and
that was bad.
that's exactly what I meant right there. They just provided a perfect illustration of it, where Behemoth... I mean, I don't think it's unfair to say that Behemoth got his partner killed right there.
Yeah, I mean, Behemoth works.
Yep, and there he's getting caught out once again.
Oh, you might die now.
Yeah, one more. Empath there has it, and that will be the last auto attack.
He's still strong. Or? Nah. Dude.
Yeah, so no surprise there that I think from the Legion side, a little bit stronger tri-lane. So despite the rotation, they pick up a couple of kills, and any disadvantage they had from the rotation, I think at this point is now gone. They've got the levels. They're going to have a lot more farm and better farm on Puppet Master. And is Silhouette going to be able to recover from a bad start here? Is this?
I think Silhouette is great at recovering, though. That's like the only good part about it currently. I mean, she can get back into the game incredibly quickly. Just like pick up a sustainer, and she can farm the woods and get an Alston in a few minutes and be right back into the game. But this is still really bad for Hellborn right now.
Yeah. Wall up on the bottom there. Silhouette actually going to catch Empath here, but the Staccato stuns are there. Essence Link is there as well, and all the healing power. Devour rotating over from the middle lane, unless he can land a hook. Yep, he's going to get Puppet Master there, and that's likely going to be a kill. Chain Reactions connects, and Marcus Moy will fall, so very good kill. The supports now perhaps staying out a little bit too long. Rhapsody getting creep blocked pretty hard. Shell Surf here from Bubbles finally showing up. Will get the kill onto Torture, so ends up being a 1-for-1 there, but not really a great trade. Obviously losing the carry and getting only a support out of it, and eventually forcing the rotation from Bubbles. That took quite a long time, it felt like.
Yeah. You're a bit in front of me.
Am I?
Can you... Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to pause at 5 minutes exactly on the in-game timer.
Yeah, that's like 10 seconds.
Alright, I'm at 5 minutes.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, Tour?
Yeah.
Alright.
All good.
Good.
Yeah,
Sounds
great.
good. Nice and sync. That's much better. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the other lanes too, because all the focus really has been. Never mind, at the bottom lane, Solo going to get walled off once again. Has a tree grapple though, and we'll see if she can get out of here. Puppet Show's there. Just barely enough CC before she was able to get that tree grapple off, and they do pick up the kill into ALG. So things really are falling apart for the Hellborn side, I think, in this bottom lane already. They got the kill on the Marcus Moy, which is great, but then the Legion side turned it around with a silhouette kill of their own. And I was going to go to the top lane, and speaking of which, there's a Eruption on top of a couple of stuns and a pretty easy kill on the Swiftblade, so that lane going to go in favor of Side Cash now at this point, at 350 gold per minute compared to Masera, just 230, so I'm kind of surprised, actually. It seems like Side Cash was winning this lane before that gank even happened, as I'm missing stuff in middle as well, as Mini Beaver dies to the gank from Empath. Man. Legion side is crushing.
Yeah, it's a lot of action here. Regarding top lane, I don't think it's surprising that Magnus is winning that lane. I think he should do so.
Yeah.
Volcanic Touch is incredibly powerful in a melee versus melee matchup. And I think like he wasn't destroying the lane, he had a slight edge before that gank, and I think that was expected.
32 to 27 CS now, Magnus in favor. And actually they're going to see some rotation from the Hellborn side as well, as they're going to put Silhouette up top. And Torture here as well. Looks like we might see a dual lane in middle, as Magnus is there. But Behemoth off to the side, Devourer also in middle. So are they just going to sack this bottom lane?
They might send Magnus over, but yeah.
I think it's the right decision. Just give up on the lane.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Legion rotated over, I think Hellborn should have rotated again immediately, really.
I mean, they can stack Ancients and farm it okay, I guess.
And it looks like they may actually be doing that, as Empath and Rhapsody, it looks like they are headed top. Puppet Master going to be by himself in this bottom lane. Level disadvantage, and a farm disadvantage as well, so actually Magnus shouldn't be in too much danger here, I wouldn't imagine.
I still think Puppet will do okay here, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's an incredibly strong laner once he gets a few levels.
And
I
middle
think
lane,
it's the right choice from
Devourer is
Legion.
going to grab the bubbles. There's chain reactions, and that will finish off Okami. So Hellborn getting back into this a little bit.
Yeah, they are surprisingly even on experience, actually.
Yeah.
I was expecting Legion to be more ahead.
That's weird, I think.
It's like Silhouette's going to get dove once again, though. And there's the wall off. They're looking for a vision, trying to find her. She's getting real deep in the woods, and she's got 3 heroes rotating over to help her out. So she's going to probably fall here as the spin goes down.
Yeah.
But they might turn this with a few more kills of their own. They cut actually a really nice path through the woods there, and it looks like Rhapsody may be the only one in any real danger. Once again, Fissure actually... Oh my god, that's just terrible.
Oh man, where's my die now? Nah.
And yeah, that's going to be a kill on the side cache right there. Kelphill into 3 as Bubbles has it in here. Spin goes down. Behemoth also going to fall. Hook forward actually hits a creep. Torture going to die as well. And the rotation from Legion just absolutely destroys that fight. Huge lost opportunity there for the Hellborn side, as the Behemoth Fissure basically saved Rhapsody's life once again. Empath while trying to kill Silhouette, but will not connect.
Yeah, I think like Silhouette helped them cut through the trees at first, and then you have Behemoth block his own teammate. That wasn't a good sequence for Hellborn whatsoever. Yeah, I'm not sure what they are supposed to do right now. I think they just need a portal key on Magnus or something, but it's really far away.
And he was doing pretty well. 350 gold per minute.
Yeah, he was, but now he's down to 260 as well. I don't know, Devourer and Magnus pretty much needs to get some space for Silhouette.
They need to get back, those 2 heroes need to get back in the game. Like set up heals. Give us a less space.
All of their early game initiation is focused on those heroes, and against the Bubbles, Puppet Master Swiftblade down to Poomer late game. Meanwhile, going to have jump once again as Behemoth is going to go down. And Silhouette here trying to turn around to Bubbles, and a nice triple stun there, plus the Eruption onto a whole bunch. This is finally going to be the fight that Hellborn are looking for. They pick up 4 kills. Puppet Master the only one to survive, and it looks like he'll be able to get away. Magnus probably doesn't have the range for the stun here, and they'll, back off that chase. But that's finally what they were looking for, as the Eruption came in onto a bunch of heroes, and they managed to also clean up the Swiftblade underneath the tower. So very well done for the Hellborn. Finally a nice fight for them, getting right back into it. Experience is now even, and they're only a little bit behind in gold. So, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what they needed to have happen there.
Yeah, that was a 4-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, the game is
only
not even
Behemoth
out
died.
now. Oh yeah, true.
Oh.
4-1, but Behemoth doesn't matter anyways at this stage.
He didn't even cast his Fisher before he died, so...
Yeah, I'm surprised, but that Magnus stun was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
A great follow-up from Torture, so...
Hitting 3 heroes there in Torture, following up with a double chain reactions, allowing the eruption to go off. And we're gonna have a much more even game than it looked like even a few minutes ago, because you saw the GPM charts a second ago, and Magnus was leading the way at 260 or so, compared to a bunch of heroes in Legion side at or above 300 GPM, and all of a sudden Magnus is now the top farmer in the game at only 310 GPM, so nobody's farming too well, mostly probably thanks to all this action. But do you feel like anybody should be doing a lot better than they are? It's just...
I don't know. I think
everyone, I mean, like, the crit scores for all members of this game are really low, in all honesty. But that's mostly because they've been rotating around so much, so it's hard to tell. I think, like, the lanes went pretty much as I expected.
And Silhouette, you're going to get caught by the Swift Slash. His last auto attack will kill her, so farming a dual stack camp there and taking some damage, but not a great thing when you've got a 3-man gank squad rotating through the Hellborn Woods. And ALG once again going to die 1, 3, and 2 now, 204 gold per minute. Compared to the Puppet Master who's 1, 1, and 3, and 260 gold per minute, so PM not too much further ahead.
Yeah.
And bottom lane actually, he's going to die as well.
I think Puppet should be doing better.
Yeah.
I mean, he did free farm his lane pretty much for a while, for like these 5 minutes.
And
yeah, lately he's
kills.
been getting nothing. He was doing really well before.
Yeah.
Middle lane, meanwhile, chain reactions on top of the lava surge, plus the eruption, and Okami will drop. So bubbles falling once again, and just about 12 minutes into this game, 11 to 9 hero kills. Hellborn have come back in a big way here. It seems like, as that big fight at top, it feels like turned something around for them and really sort of got them back into this game. When they were on the brink of getting steamrolled, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just made a few good rotations after that. Now they're almost in the lead.
So we've got poor farm on Silhouette, we've got poor farm on Puppet Master. Which one of these heroes is more likely, do you think, to end up coming out ahead and perhaps recover the game and possibly carry their way to victory?
Definitely Silhouette. I think Puppet is extremely poor at recovery. He relies heavily on a good early game. So this is very unfortunate for him. Like, Silhouette can easily recover once he gets a sustainer and can start farming. But Puppet, like, relies on snowballing, getting an early shroud, going ahead picking people off. So yeah, he's going to have a bad game at this rate.
And I think
Swiftblade is doing okay though.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, you know, he's not the only carry in the team. Swiftblade can certainly help him out at 200 or 320 gold per minute now. He's doing quite fine.
I mean, yeah, but it's going to hurt the mid game a lot as well, Puppet being this far behind.
Right.
We'll see how it ends up.
And you guys think, like, maybe they should transition Puppet into more of a secondary role? It felt like they were putting the priority farm on him early, especially because they rotated down and put Swiftblade in that more suicide position. But is Swiftblade now the primary farmer? Is Puppet still the hero you want to get all the stacks on? What do you think?
I think they should prioritize Puppet still. He needs to get back to the game with the Shroud and with Spring Helm.
Yeah, he needs to get
Otherwise, like, the hero doesn't really function or do anything before you get the Shroud, apart from doing well in lane. So, like, Swiftblade can still work without, I don't know, 500 gold per minute. I mean, he's doing fine right now.
Yep.
But Puppet is almost useless at this stage. So I think they need more vision to protect him right now. He's like sitting farming bot lane with no wards to help him out at all. I don't like Legion has one ward at the top lane.
And it looks like that lack of vision might come to hurt him. There's the TP. Nope, devs might not have seen that. It is night, so their vision is obviously restricted. But top tower will go down in favor of the Legion side.
Destroyed a
That's gonna be the first tower kill here. About 15 minutes in the game, so pretty late tier 1 tower. But neither side has a particularly strong pushing lineup, so perhaps not the most impressive thing in the world. And of course, they've all been dying a hell of a lot because of all the action we've seen. Of course, not going to complain about that. But the Legion side is grouped up as 5 in this top lane, and you think they're looking to take a tier 2 tower here? Doesn't seem likely. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what they're doing in all honesty, but oh well.
They should take over bot, I feel.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they have 5 people in the enemy woods right now. It doesn't seem to accomplish anything. I guess we look for a pick or something, but I think they just need to establish room for the Puppet Master to work with right now.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe stack Ancients. probably.
See,
Yeah.
Rhapsody here dropping a Word of Sight right on top of Mega Beaver's Word of Rev, way in the back of the jungle. So no doubt, if that's not countered by this Word of Rev, it'll be countered in a second, and that Word of Rev is going to expire in a few seconds. So that'll be taken out. In the meantime, Hellborn are rotating up here, looking to provide some resistance because the tier 2 tower is dropping fairly low, but Legion's going to back off, and definitely the correct decision there. There's a stack here. Actually not going to farm it.
Yeah, but I got a question out of it from like Legion. They rotated 5 heroes up to the secondary tower and started pushing it, and as soon as like Hellborn defended, which was obvious that they were going to do, they just backed off. It's just wasting like 2 minutes time on all their heroes without accomplishing anything really. They cleared some creeps in the woods, but that's about it.
No doubt. I think to be fair, it's not like Hellborn got too much out of that engagement either.
No, they were fairly grouped up as well, so it's still relatively even. But it was weird rotation.
Yeah. Both teams seem kind of insecure about what they should do back there.
Yeah, they are moving like as a group constantly.
Yeah,
I mean, to an extent to lack of vision, but also I don't know, insecurity. I'm not sure.
I feel like Hellborn has kind of okay vision, but they don't seem to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, their woods is completely free, and so is top lane, and instead they're just sitting mid as 5. And
yeah, I mean, like the other 4 heroes running around trying to gank is fine, but Silhouette shouldn't be running with the team.
Yeah.
At this stage, she doesn't, I don't know, add anything to them.
Yeah, now she's
has his
going
now.
Like, I don't know.
I'm feeling like maybe they're both just a little gun shy because of how many team fights and significant engagements we've taken so far, and they're like, well, if we get caught out, you know, if we're only 3, if we're only 4, then they seem to be roaming as 5, and that's a good way to lose 3 or 4 heroes in an engagement and not take much, if anything. So perhaps both sides are sort of feeling like they don't have a choice.
Yeah, I would have liked to see your like stat for creep efficiency right now. I think it would be absolutely horrible.
I think so too. 17 minutes into this game, and highest CS score is Swiftblade at 73, which is pretty sad, to be honest. Like, I think the record for last cycle in Diamond Division was 11 CS per minute, and by that mark, yeah, somebody should be up at like 200 right now. Obviously, that was the best, and so you can't really expect that. But I don't think either side is really happy with how well they're farming. And I mean, you look at the GVM chart right now. Only one hero is above 300 gold per minute.
Yeah, the rotations are a bit better now at least. Like they're a bit more spread out. Silhouette is mid while the rest of the Hellborn team are pushing bottom. Makes a bit more sense. But yeah, Puppet is still with his team. I guess he's getting the farm while Swiftblade is elsewhere.
Yeah, Swiftblade taking ages there, and bottom tier 1 tower here will fall. Tortures and Impalement going up, but not doing a lot of damage. And that'll be a tier 1 tower kill. Top lane, meanwhile, Minotaur Sun goes onto the Silhouette Illusion.
Are they gonna defend this? Yeah, they're gonna defend it.
And it looks like they will prevent further aggression on that tier 2 tower. It's continuing to take some pretty significant chip damage.
But they got a free tower, pretty much.
Why
that's
are
really
they
great.
so focused on this tier 2?
Yeah, I have no idea what Legion are doing right now. I mean, they have dual Portuguese and Hellborn as well. I think this is like an excellent time for Hellborn to fight.
Yep.
And a horrible time for Legion.
Yeah, I hope they jump them. Yeah.
And there's the hook forward. We'll get Rhapsody, and that's going to be 1 kill, but probably it, as everybody else is porting out or just backing up. Oh, Magma's going to catch Empath there as she tried to port, and now it's going to be likely kill number 2. Wall goes out, doesn't do too much of anything. Really terrible tree grapple there from Silhouette. Not sure what her plan was. Behemoth Fissure once again trying to save the enemy team. Does Behemoth realize what team he's playing on?
I'm not sure, but it worked out in the end, I guess.
I mean, yeah. But pretty much only because that was an empath. If that was Swiftblade, PM, or Bubbles, that probably would have cost them a kill.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, I mean, it's just, once again, they do finally get that tier 2 tower top. It is denied. But there's a tier 1 mid, which is less than half. There's a tier 1 bottom, which is less than half. And at the very least, it seems like the tier 1 mid would open up more of the map for them than the tier 2 top.
Yeah, I mean, the tier 2 top doesn't achieve anything with the tier 1 mid. Still up. I don't know why they focus on it so much.
If they wanted to push somewhere, they should have gone mid, because that opens the map the most.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would still have been silly to push since they are at a disadvantage against dual PKs, but at least, like, that tower has a real impact to the game. Like, getting that down is a lot of map control.
I don't know, some questionable stuff going on, I think, from both teams at this point. When it seems like they've got multiple heroes, you know, in Puppet, Swiftblade, and Silhouette that can be hard carries. Meanwhile, off the side here, Devour will jump PM with that Portal P, and there's the hook with the auto attack. Actually gets the kill, Haste Rune as well, so he might be able to get out of this without any return. Yep, and he's just going to screw it right on out of there. So Word of Sight in the Legion Woods doing work as they manage to pick off Marcus Moy once again. I keep coming back to this whole that the farm on both sides is so bad, and it doesn't seem like they're doing the right things to try to fix that. They are stacking Ancients fairly regularly, which is nice. Both sides have a double stack right now. But
yeah, I think Legion has been shaping up a bit now after that fight top. They seem to be more focused around farming now and maximizing the resources on the map, which I think is a good choice. I just think they should have done that earlier.
CC top lane, Bubbles is here, and we've got Empath in the middle lane and Swiftblade and Rhapsody in bottom, so they're finally spreading out a little bit, trying to get some CS in different places, but Devour here, throwing a hook, won't connect, as he's looking for Puppet. And they will, looks like Puppet might actually try to take these double stacked Ancients here. So
yeah, he screwed up the last stack there, I think. It's still good for him though.
I think he's just looking for anything he can get. Meanwhile, up top, Okami falls. Completely missed that. And this is going to turn into a tier 1 push for the Hellborn side.
Yeah, they also have a peek on Behemoth as well. This is starting to look pretty green for the Legion side.
Yeah, I mean, the team fight is going to be ridiculous for Hellborn, and just as importantly, their base defense is fantastic.
The Hellborn had destroyed a Legion tower.
And
yeah, I mean, like...
Tons of ports coming in there. Empath goes inside of Rhapsody, but that's not going to do too well for either of them. There goes Rap and Empath. So trying to get out of there, as they were 2 supports pushing mid by themselves, with more or less no backup from their cores. And questionable?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not sure what Legion are supposed to do now. Like, Puppet isn't going for a Shroud either. He's going for Shrunken, which kind of makes sense considering how he's been suffering, but that means that Legion has little in the way of pickup potential, and I don't think they can win a team fight right now either.
Yeah.
It's gonna take so long before Puppets is going to take off. Like he's
I mean, he's not going to take off. He's going to be a non-factor, I feel.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire game now.
He's going to be mildly annoying with the CC, and that's just about it. I mean, the damage is going to be there, and even with a Shrunken Head, he's not going to live that long, especially against the Silhouette, so...
Oh.
No, and Hellborn has so much pickup right now. They're going to have a peek on Behemoth in 3 gold and a peek on Silhouette in another minute. I'm not sure what Legion is supposed to do right now.
Yeah, seems like Adrian's family
they can't team fight, they can't try to gank. Their map control is severely restricted. I'm not sure. It's looking very grim. I guess they just have to hope that Hellborn makes a few mistakes and get back through that.
Close.
Devour looking for all sorts of opportunities, as many as he can get, of course, with that pickoff potential, and has Magnus in the background for some backup, so definitely a dangerous duo. And Legion side is once again hanging out all by themselves. Puppet's not farming anything. Empath, Rhapsody, and Bubbles are just standing around as well.
They're extremely inefficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have almost no space on the map, and yet they're killing the creeps inside the camps as well, which gives me even less to farm. So I don't know, it's looking grim. They just need to try to get a few core items up on their team, and then maybe get a fight or a pick.
And looking at the vision too for both teams, it is pretty sparse. Panty with a ward in the bottom river, and Mega Beaver has one up at the top lane, giving some vision of the top river and the top lane, but finally another one goes down to the bottom, and that will actually spot out a bunch of heroes coming in, so they realize that's a good idea. Let's back off here. But it seems like Legion side, if they're going to focus this farm fest and they don't want to take fights, and I feel like that is their best opportunity, they've got to get some more defensive wards, and especially over here by their Ancients where they do have a double stack, so that they can try to take some of these resources and do it a little more safely than they currently can.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's their best option, but it's not a good one.
Well, I mean, you do what you can. Anyway, bottom lane, Kelfield onto 2 as Bubbles is going to go in, but it looks like there's a DD on Silhouette. That's going to be a problem. Yep. Mega Beaver's going to go down right away, but there's Empath at the bottom, and Rapsi ultimate doing nothing. Off the side, Okami and Bubbles is going to fall as well. Swiftblade's here, looking for something, has Swift Flashes available, and is going to be forced to use it, but he's going to get stunned out pretty hard. Finally, there it goes off. Not going to kill anything, though, especially as Sola splits up. She loses her DD because of that, and the Puppet Show goes on to her, so she's going to be doing some damage to Devour, but that eventually wears off here. Off the side, Marcus Moy will also fall, so it looks like Rapsi's the only one that's going to survive here, will be able to teleport away, and ends up being a 4-for-2 fight in favor of the Hellborn side, and I think we're getting into real dangerous territory if you're the guys on Instant Reflex at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to take Pyrus 4 fight at the start.
Did you see Puppet Master? He did one auto attack the whole fight. on the Silhouette Illusion. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seemed to play...
Although, I mean, if he had pounded in 3 or 4, how much more damage would that really have done? He's not a factor right now.
Yeah, but this is the problem with Puppet. If he gets behind early, he's completely useless. And that's the main issue for... it was the main issue for Legion, now they have a ton of issues. But
now they're losing the team fights, now they don't have the gank potential. Eruption going to be channeled up here in the bottom, and Okami's going to get crushed. So, pretty easy pick off there, and Magnus might pay for this.
Massacre.
Will Steam Bath there, and pushbook himself forward right through the wall.
Ooh.
Nicely done. Now Empath and Rapsi might get turned on. Chain Reactions are going to connect on the Empath. You're going to see Puppet comes in here as well. But a 2-man stun, and Empath in some trouble. Gets inside of Puppet Master. So they're looking for something there. Behemoth Fish are going to block off Rhapsody, so she's going to be in some trouble there. But well, her stun going to miss. Rhapsody gets hooked back in, and the ult from Devourer. No doubt Rhapsody will fall here, but turn kill onto Torture, so ends up being a 1-for-1 there. Probably, it really feels to me like that should have been a worse engagement for the Legion side. Steam Bath from Magnus may not be over, in fact, as Puppet's going to get stunned out, and the portal key away from Mag. Meanwhile, top lane, Silhouette is pushing there with her illusions, and likely will be taking a tier 1 tower, but that bottom engagement could have gone a lot worse for the Legion side, feels like, especially,
Yeah. Behemoth missed the sun. So.
yeah.
yeah,
What else is
it's
new?
been the best game for him. But Clickmark, you're a bit more optimistic than me. What do you feel like Legion should be doing right now to try to salvage this game?
They really need to get map control and just stack and farm everything. And I really don't think Papa should go front and head. He should just go Shroud and just look for pickoffs and try to... They should use their ultis whenever they have cooldown. To try to get easy kills and just come back into the game, farm-wise.
Yeah. You mentioned that map control thing. Penny just placing a ward of sight in the middle lane or so right now, and that was their only ward. Or before that, they had no vision. So right now, this is their only ward.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And if they get like
really
I guess.
So,
yeah, if they get a lane ward now, they're gonna be able to farm their woods pretty safely, and then they can also have one hero static farming top. And then, yeah, that would be really good for them.
so
It's not really Pandy's fault either, though, that they have no vision right now. It's incredibly hard to ward against the Hellborn team. Like, almost any hero can solo kill him at any point.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
true.
like with Rhapsody on your side, though, too, maybe with the dual support lineup, should have a little bit more vision. But hey. Devourer invis in the middle lane will drop the ultimate onto Okami, then portal keys away, and Silhouette apparently did not get the message because she comes in. Definitely a good thing to run away from that, though, because the entire Legion side is once again all here. Dawnbringer there finished onto Swiftblade. Hook from Devourer is not going to connect. Silhouette now has her portal key and Nullstone and Whispering Helm, so she's actually, like you said before, recovering very, very well. 421 gold per minute. A lot better than what was happening before. And she's very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm kind of questioning the Whispering Helm. I'm not sure what that's like trying to accomplish here, really. But they're so far ahead, it doesn't really matter at this stage either. I feel like, I don't know, Iometers would be a lot more useful.
Yeah, especially against something like the Swiftblade, Swift Flashes, eat some damage with those illusions, and...
Yeah, there's quite a few things to dispel on the Legion side, like Bubbles,
Yeah, Bubbles
Song
as
of
well.
the Sea, Puppet Master, Rhapsody, Empath. But I mean, like, it shouldn't matter in the end. I'm also a bit curious about the Dawnbringer on Swiftblade. I'm not sure if that's really helpful now. They don't have a lot of space to work with. I would much rather like to see an Abyssal Skull or something on him to actually help them fight, look for kills.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe Silhouette just not wanting to do anything active. A-click the ground and win game.
Yeah, that's admittedly how I play it, so I shouldn't say anything.
Yes.
Always fun. A-click, take your hands off the keyboard, win game, laugh. Middle lane, Empath inside of Swiftblade. Gonna try and take down this tier 1 tower. We'll be able to do so. Actually denied there, and just gonna keep spinning, but let's get locked down by Devour, and this is not good. Rhapsody there to help save him. But the Behemoth stun will come in onto 2, and the entire Hellborn team is here. All of a sudden, Eruption comes in unnecessarily. But hey, might as well use it, as that Behemoth ultimate was dropped first. So again, lack of communication, it feels like, on the Hellborn side. We missed that. We saw that earlier in the middle lane where Devour went in, then jumped out, and then Silhouette jumped in right after that. And here, you got the Eruption going off the background, and Behemoth also dropping his ultimate. It feels like Adrian's family isn't on the same page, despite their substantial advantage here.
Yeah, there's been a few mistakes from them, but overall they're playing it quite well right now.
Playing more as a team.
Yeah. I think like I think they've been controlling the map a bit better. And I mean they play the lineup as they should be playing it. Like getting the PKs and then looking for fights and ganks, while Legion are like trying to group up and fight before they have their core items. I think that's hurting them a lot right now.
Trying to group up and fight too with a lineup that isn't necessarily that conducive to team fights. I mean, Bubbles good, Rhapsody good, Swiftblade pretty good, but Puppet Master and Empath in particular are much more gank-oriented heroes, it seems, as opposed to 5v5 fighters.
Yeah, I mean, like, they could probably teamfight if they had their core items, like a Shroud and Puppet Master, and get picked through that or something, but not at the stage when they were trying to.
Right. BM here going to take out some Ancients, and will get himself up to 275 gold per minute, so... Even then, you know, all this time, I think the contrast is really most obvious with something like Silhouette and Swiftblade. Swiftblade's been getting, it seems like, the most farm, and CC? Okay. That's...
Really?
That just kind of happened.
I wouldn't be surprised if this passes, but we'll see.
Yeah. It seems like, yeah, they're probably going to lose this game, and it wouldn't hurt them that much to CC, because it's basically just under 15 minutes of pointlessness before they eventually do lose, but the time
I think they could turn. I mean, it's not impossible. If you do a Rhapsody, like if Rhapsody blocks the Behemoth ulti or something like that.
Please don't talk about. Yeah, it's an internal joke about Clockwork trying to do that for an entire game and being completely useless. No, not completely.
What's the range difference? Okay, so radius is 500 for that, and the heavyweight is 280 radius, which means for Rhapsody not to get stunned out with the meanwhile middle lane actually Kami drops just at the end of that. So Rhapsody's got about 220 distance in which she's going to be able to catch her teammates in the ultimate and not also get stunned by Behemoth.
The Legion have
it's almost impossible, and Clockwork tried to do that for an entire game and never succeeded.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty close.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I would do it, it would have been like amazing.
Yeah, true. Anyways, yeah, I mean, like...
Oh, and you also gotta stop the Magma Stun, by the way, too. And there you go, Rhapsody ultimate will save some damage from Swiftblade, but will immediately get stableted out. And there she's gonna die. Looks like the Assassin Stride going out from Silhouette. Odd item pickup there, I think, but hey.
Yeah, this is another odd item pickup. I'm not sure why.
Just so weird item.
It's like, he has a really small impact right now. If he had like Geometers or Shroud and...
Yeah, Geometers would have been so good.
Should do so much more in a fight.
Jump there, and middle eyes on Swiftblade, and he's... Oh boy, actually gonna turn this on to Behemoth as the kelp field goes down. Magnus is there as well, and the Voodoo Puppet. It's a nice turnaround. Poured out meanwhile from Torture.
Okami's silence was so huge.
Yeah.
He cancelled Fisher, and they managed to turn. Really great reactions.
Yeah, I think they have to try to use these picks to get some map control back, like get some wards out, protect their own roots right now. I hope they will, because I think that's their way to get back into the game.
Like now they have time to ward.
Yeah, exactly, they haven't. But I'm not sure, they aren't even trying to right now.
Like they're letting Devour for mid alone, for some reason. I don't know why.
Tablet out. Maybe.
I mean, like, they have 2 pickoffs and they aren't even attempting to protect their own woods or ward up again. I'm not sure how they plan to win the game like this. Are you just going to sit inside the base for 10 minutes and then Hellborn decides to win the game? Or...
Yeah, and they're doing the concede vote, but not passing. I don't know. Maybe they have bad morale.
That's
Yeah, I
definitely a
think-
concern. And when you have one person calling the CC vote and other players are not on board with that plan, it's basically a sign that, yeah, some of us want to stay in, some of us don't want to stay in, and that doesn't usually end up with a team turning a game around, I feel like.
No, definitely not.
So 35 minutes in here, Hellborn with a substantial advantage, currently actually sitting at what am I at? Plus 14k gold and 19k experience. Bottom lane Swiftblade will spin away and he'll be just fine. End of his behemoth here, so trying to bait the silhouette perhaps, but Legion aren't taking it. Or maybe she's just going to kill this tower. She does have Token of Life for another 30 seconds.
I kind of like this rotation from Legion. They're at least trying to do something right now. Unfortunately, like the ward will see all 5 of them run past, so it's not going to amount to anything. But they kind of have to look for some AO pickoffs right now to get back into this.
No doubt.
The Hellborn
Tier
have
2 tower.
destroyed
So now,
a
just lost the
Legion
tower now.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Well, they couldn't defend it regardless, so...
I'm not sure if there's much they can defend. I mean, the portal keys on the Hellborn side basically mean that even if they're deep in their base, they can still get caught.
Yeah, I know. I think this game's over, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think it's been over for a while. Bot tier 3
Look,
tower
it's still
is now dying for nothing, so it took them that long to react to the offense put up by Hellborn side, and this tier 3 now is going to be put into deny range by this Hell Cannon. Nope, missed there, so it will not. Just above it. And honestly, I feel like Hellborn could end at this point. It's a little riskier, and I can definitely see while they're waiting for this, perhaps the next Congoy, they'll get a Token of Life and choose to break base, but I mean, I don't see the way back for Legion. Even if they manage to pick off a few heroes, there's buybacks aplenty on the Hellborn side, and they've got like a ridiculously powerful base defense team. How do you push into Behemoth, Magnus, Devourer, even Silhouette?
I think you just have to hope that like Hellborn doesn't push and overextends or something right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Hellborn just sits back, waits for the next Congo, gets a token and pushes in, I don't think they can lose this game.
And
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, they aren't rushing it by any means. They are somewhat lacking in vision right now, which might... I don't know.
It's weird,
Some miracle could cause them to come back. Cause Legion to come back to pick off, since they have absolutely no vision on the map, but really, no.
And
This is
Hellborn
so
are
great.
dropping a word too, but I feel like Hellborn don't care if they don't have any vision. Just because it's going to be really, really hard to kill them. I mean, Magnus is slippery, Silhouette's slippery, Behemoth has a portal key and a stun, Silhouette's got, of course, her ultimate. Actually, with the illusion will get caught out here, and that's bad because Swift Slashes were just used.
Oh my god.
Oh, whoopsie.
Yeah, and it's still a bit irresponsible by the like Hellborn support though. I mean, they have full map control, it shouldn't be hard for them to get amazing wards out constantly, really.
Hey, but why spend 100 gold on wards when you can buy health bombs and stuff?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Anyways, I doubt it will matter.
Yeah.
If Legion gets back into the game, that might be the cause.
Yeah, that's most likely. I mean, they could know that there is like they could take mid now and stuff. I don't know. I don't know why they don't ward. It's really weird. Okay.
They don't do what?
Hellborn,
Push or?
They don't ward. Yeah.
Oh yeah, ward. Yeah, they like neither side of the game.
I don't get why Hellborn is, or Legion isn't warding. I feel like Hellborn is basically just saying, like, if you get killed at this point, it's probably your fault. Just because their heroes are, I mean, how do you catch them? Torture you can kill, maybe Behemoth. I don't think you can kill Devourer, Magnus, or Silhouette at this point.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Unless you bring 5. That's
The
it.
Hellborn
Yeah, I
have
mean, Legion has
destroyed
been
a
trying a
Legion
few times
tower.
into the Hellborn Woods, but they just haven't caught anyone. Since like most of the Hellborn heroes are on the other side of the map,
Yeah.
in their woods far away.
Silhouette Illusion going to pounce mono attacks into the racks here, and will be backed off. So they do kill the tier 3 tower here, and they don't have a token, so they're not choosing to wait for Kongor. They're feeling like they can get offensive here.
I think it's unnecessary, but realistically it won't matter.
Yeah,
They should
Shrunken
definitely...
Head, and once again, Behemoth is helping the other team.
Oh my god.
Like,
If they still decide to push now, they might lose the fight.
Yeah, there's a kill field on just one. There's a Lava Surge onto two, though. Chain Reactions follows it up. Dust of Revelation going off all over the place. Nice Behemoth, though. Catches a whole bunch of heroes. Black Sarah going to be the first one to fall. Kaiman also dead, so Swiftplay going to buy it back right away. Devourer here is taking some damage, but will kill Puppet pretty easily. Empath also going to fall. Spin there from Swifty. Might get the kill on Devourer here, and might not, depending on how long it's... Nope, actually, it does get it with the Dawnbringer dot, so there you go. That's why they brought the Dawnbringer. Swift Slashes go down, and he gets the bounces onto Torturer. Very well done, but he's still going to fall here. Lava Surge catches onto one. Nice port from Bubbles, actually. Stops the Lava Surge onto him, and the Puppet Show onto Silhouette. Looks like the Hellborn side will be forced to back off here, but... the buyback from both Puppet Master and Swiftblade. Never mind, there's no back in. Bubbles is dead. Sheepstick there onto Morcus Moy. Bubbles also buys back, which is pointless because he's not going to be able to do anything. Rhapsody's back up in a few seconds, but there's a CC vote, and I think it's going to go down this time as the GGs are being called by Hellborn offensively. Yep, there it is.
Hellborn wins.
So, finally does go down. Final thoughts? We'll go to Cluckmuck
A
first once
Legion
again.
barracks has been destroyed.
Yeah, I just think it was a really weird game. I felt like Legion really had the game. And then they just threw it all away by not farming.
Yeah, no doubt. And Count Crapula, what do you got?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think Hellborn played the draft better. I think Legion didn't act like they had the, I don't know, superior. I think they had a fair chance in the mid and later stages of the game, and they just tried to rush things unnecessarily. And I think that lost them the game, or at least their advantage. And they also there was a peculiar lack of vision for both teams.
That's true.
That hurt Legion a lot as
Yeah.
well.
So, and we said in the beginning of the game, we did favor Legion's draft in general. I think I was in agreement on that as well, but it felt like they made some mistakes that they just weren't able to recover from, and that's why drafting isn't the only thing that matters in this game. You also got to outplay your opponents. So, the last part of this game, that really did feel like it was in favor of the Hellborn side for a really long time. Perhaps a little bit closer than we were making it seem, but at the same time, a predictable result in the end, I think, with the Hellborn taking the Game 1 victory. So that will finish it off for this game, and Hellborn on Adrian's Family will go up 1-0 over Instant Reflex.
The Hellborn
and
have
we'll move into
destroyed
Game
a
2.
Legion tower.